welcome to Your New Jersey. I'm Lisa Marie Falbo. Today, we'll talk to Jennifer Tripucka about her Local Girl brand and how she's bringing hyper-local content all around the Garden State. But first, New Jersey residents know and love Buddy the Cake Boss and Carlos Bakery of Hoboken. But did you ever wonder what goes on behind the scenes? Lisa Velastro, wife of Buddy, created a podcast to tell us. Lisa of What's Up Cuz, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming on here. I know you have a very busy schedule between the podcast, your other commitments, 4 children, which we'll touch on. But where did the inspiration to create this podcast come from?
So the inspiration to create the podcast actually came from raising my 4 children and real life, things. I feel that a lot of our fans only see what they see on the show, and they really don't know what happens in real life with us. And Buddy and I are raising our children in a way that we really are not know people. We really want our kids to understand the value of life and to let people know that we are regular people just like everyone else. And my kids still get into trouble, and my kids, still have rules that they have to follow. And they're really pretty down to earth children. So when our fans ask me questions on my podcast, they're real life questions, and the answers I give them, obviously it's my opinion, but it's the way that my husband and I are raising our kids.
How did the kids feel about being fodder for the podcast?
I don't think the kids mind being on the podcast. I have to be honest. They've been on a couple of times already, and the way I feel that I'm very truthful with our fans, and the way I respond to their questions, I think my kids do the same thing. And I want them to be honest and truthful, because in the long run, they're just kids. They're just kids living kids' lives and responding from a kid's perspective.
Besides your kids, who else do you feature on the podcast?
We feature a lot of family. I try to bring in a different family member each time, and friends, and just people that we hang out with that want to be just around, and people that we enjoy being around with.
How did you come up with the name What's Up Cuz?
So it's funny. So the name was from my co-host Erica, which happens to be Buddy's cousin, my cousin. And she's actually the one that approached me years back and asked if I wanted to do a podcast with her. And I was very interested because I didn't know how to get my feeling of life out there to people, because like I said, people only see what they see on our show. They really don't get to see the one-on-one of me in the interview process, or answering questions that people might have of us. So when she approached me with it, I loved the name What's Up Cuz, because it's me and her, we're cousins, and it was a really cool ringtone to it, and we just started doing our podcast.
So where are you doing the podcast? Is it out of your house? Do you go to a studio?
So we actually do our podcast right out of my home. This time around, we do it out of my office. Last time around, I think it was in the family room, wherever we find a spot that I feel comfortable at that time. Not too stuffy, just something that could be more conversational than very stuffy, and something just relaxed, basically.
Cake Boss has been on television, well over 15 years at this point. This is a little bit of a different type of show where you created the concept and had to put it in action yourself. The process, talk about that and how different it might have been for you.
I have to be honest, Erica does take care of most of the process of the What's Up Cuz podcast. Me coming into it, I wanted to relate more with the fans and be one-on-one with them, and kind of just hone in on questions that they had for me. So there really is no script. I have to be honest. It's what you see is what you get, and whatever fan questions come in, those are the ones we answer. So there's really nothing that is set up. It's more as it happens and natural.
What's the one question that you see repeatedly coming in from your fans?
I do get a lot of questions about the kids. And so I do relate more to questions that do pertain to the kids, because it's easy talking for me. And like I said, everything that I do say is only based on my opinion. It's really not set in stone. It's not facts. It's all my opinion. So I feel that if you're asking me the question, you're also asking for my opinion. So you don't have to take it. I always don't want people to get offended with what I say. They might not agree, which is okay because that's what makes the world go round.
What is your favorite story that's been featured in the podcast?
Erica had just gone to Las Vegas for the first time. And my husband and I, we're in Vegas a lot throughout the year. A lot of our businesses are out there, so we try to tend to visit every couple of months. But this was Erica's first time going out there, and it's very different going to Vegas as a single, 20 or young 30-year-old than it is as a married woman with 4 children. So I was kind of giving her the ins and outs of what she should do while she's still single out there.
So you mentioned how you have businesses out in Vegas. You have
Mhm.
businesses all over the world. What
We
is the
do.
Cake Boss portfolio looking like right now?
So we opened up Buddy B's restaurant out in Vegas 10 years ago. This year we're celebrating our 10-year anniversary. We opened up Pizza Cake right before COVID. We opened up Boss Cafe about a year ago, and we also opened up Jersey Eats about a year ago. And Jersey Eats is a business that my husband and I did with our 4 children. So they are our partners in that Jersey Eats business, which is actually a food truck. So it's fun. It's fun for the kids to see and to start learning about money and what comes in and what goes out and cost of goods and all that. And we are working on a new place too out there. So we're out there a lot, but it's
I-
all exciting things.
It's so exciting. Besides Las Vegas, where else in the country and really the world? I feel like you've spent a lot of time in South America recently.
A couple years back, we went to Brazil. We do have bakeries out in Brazil. We have bakeries out in Canada. So we're across the country. Yeah, pretty much. We're spreading our wings, as you could say.
I went to Italy. I mean, this is going back now almost 10 years, but when people heard I was from New Jersey and that I
Hmm.
actually know you and Buddy and, being in East Hanover, right? Because you
Yep.
guys all congregated there. People thought you were gods. People thought Buddy was an actual god. It was,
Well, I do believe it.
yeah, and it was refreshing because normally, like when you go to places like Vegas, South Beach, people ask about Snooki, right? Or The
Mhm.
Sopranos back in the day. But in Italy, it was all about the Cake Boss. So, in thinking back to the show, one of my favorites is when you went to Italy.
I do love Italy. We do try to visit every couple of years. But yes, I know what you mean when people think that Buddy is a god there because the minute we get off that airplane, it is insane. But we love our fans, so we enjoy it.
And you have such a legion of fans that still come to Hoboken
Hmm.
and visit. That line still wraps around the block. How surreal is it to just have that connection all of these years later?
It's such a blessing to know that fans still love us, that we're still there for them, and that we're still putting out amazing products for everyone. It's just really surreal. That's all I could say.
And when people travel locally to the bakery and need to go to a rest stop, just last year you have Cake Boss vending machines along all the
We
Jersey
do.
rest
So
stops.
that's our new venture. Yes, that is our new venture. Is Carlo's Bakery cake vending machines, and we do have them on down the New Jersey Turnpike at all the rest stops. It's a way of spreading our wings and getting our product out there. And I think our product is amazing. We use no preservatives, which is unheard of. And I think I love a piece of our cake. I have to be honest.
Yeah, it's phenomenal cake. I got to tell you, of course.
Hmm.
I want to circle back to the kids. You started the food truck business with them. That's amazing.
Hmm.
Do you think all four of them will follow in the footsteps, or do you picture at least some of them forging their own path into a totally different industry?
It's funny that you asked that because now that my kids are of college years, well, half of them are, I tend to get asked that question a lot. And, Sophia is in her second year of college and she is going for business hospitality. but he hasn't given us his final decision yet on what he's doing. At one point, he was going back and forth of coming straight into the business or going to college. I tell my kids this all the time: the bakery will be here forever. Wherever life leads them, I will be proud of them. I will support them. And if they want to go out there and try the world out first and then come back to the business, I'm okay with that too. I just want them, a goal as a parent is you just want your child to be happy in anything they do in their life because it's a lifelong commitment. And do we think that some will end up in the business? Yes, but maybe not. No one knows what the future brings
Yeah.
until they're there and they're walking the walk. No one knows.
What's next for Cake Boss and Carlos Bakery?
So we are in the process of filming 3 new shows. We are very excited to see where our new path leads to.
That's great. Well, we look forward to hearing news on that. Where can people find out more about you and the podcast and where to listen?
So it's What's Up Cuz, and you could go onto YouTube, subscribe to our channel, and we have we're 3 years of this, so there's plenty of episodes that you could listen to and catch up on all the excitement in our lives. And the kids have been on it a lot, so you could see where they were and where they are now. But yeah, like I said, it's a fun podcast for me because it's very easy talking. It's all natural things that occur in our lives. And remember, it's just my opinion. You can take it or leave it.
I see kind of a new reality show coming out of that, though. Would you be open to that, having like a behind the scenes look at your family in a reality show format?
Maybe one of our new shows is about that.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, like I said, we'll stay tuned and we can't wait to find out more. Well, we're rooting for you from one East Hanover girl to another. Congratulations on all of your success. And this was a lot of fun. Thanks, Lisa.
Thank you. Congratulations to you, and thank you for having me. And I look forward for more, interviews with you guys.
Absolutely. You'll be back, I'm sure.
Thank you. Thank you.
Jennifer Tripucka, known as the Hoboken Girl for over a decade, is here to tell us about how she is utilizing her platform not only to share great spots around Hoboken, Jersey City, and Montclair, but to coach others and give back to her community as well. Jennifer, welcome to the show.
Thanks so much for having me.
Jennifer, I have been following your career for over a decade and just really admire what you've been able to do and how you utilize social media and just ran with it. Tell us more about how you started The Local Girl and created many more platforms from there.
Well, thank you so much, first of all. It's such an honor to be working in all of these communities that we really work in. I started the Hoboken Girl in 2012, really as a side project blog, and it grew over time. I have a background in school counseling, but also in, Condé Nast. I worked in an editorial, so I have a lot of experience with both working with people and working in the editorial field. But I ended up starting Hoboken Girl very much a side project, grew it into a full-time career about 5 years in. So we've now in 2023 have grown to a team of 5 full-time, and we launched the Montclair Girl, which is our second hyperlocal media site. It's a news site similar to the Hoboken Girl, and that was launched in 2020, which was right in the lovely time of the pandemic. But we have really decided to go all in with hyperlocal. I think it's just so important to be connected to your local community. And so this year I actually launched a course called Becoming the Local Girl, which is all about building your own hyperlocal community, whether you just have an Instagram or you have just a foodie account that you want to monetize and really make a part of a community and build a community. So the Local Girl is our parent brand. And through that, we coach and have courses that you can take, which are all about building your brand and really embracing that hyperlocal just career and ability to connect with your audience.
I feel like hyperlocal is where it's at. especially right now, because news outlets are consolidating or closing, or they're just giving you a general scope and not really getting into the communities anymore. And you do such a great job. Is part of the course how to stay on top of all the numerous websites and social media trends that you do so well?
Yes, actually, it is really a combination of so many things. We go through everything from how to monetize your just Instagram account to how to create a website, what to include in your website, where you should be looking for advertisers, all of the content strategies that we do on a weekly and daily basis with our team. So we cover it all. It really is soup to nuts, from getting your LLC and really legitimizing your business to getting clients and knowing how to make a media kit and knowing how to post on social, and really the overview of everything that goes into creating a hyperlocal news site or a local media brand that you want to create a community around.
Who has signed up for the course? What's the type of demographic?
It is a really varied demographic, which has been so exciting. We have people from all over the world. We have two women in Colorado who are doing hyperlocal. They are, really working on their hyperlocal brand that they've started in Northern Colorado. There's a Southern California, the SoCal gal. She's taken our course. We have a few from Morristown, New Jersey, that run, Instagram accounts and websites, but really are looking to take it to the next level. And we just realized there's such a need for, guidance. And just my background being in education, originally being a school counselor, having a master's of education, it's always been my passion to give back and teach. And so being able to do what we have done with the Hoboken Girl and our local girl brands, and then be able to, be mentors and help people, has just been so rewarding.
Where do the people from all over the country find you?
Honestly, it's been through Instagram, word of mouth, my email list. It's been quite a mix, but over time, just having grown the Hoboken Girl, I really keep myself separate from the Hoboken Girl brand. We have, a managing editor, we have an editorial team, a marketing director who manage our brands. I, more on the business development side. And so I have my own personal platform, through Instagram and my personal brand, and, have some people that have been following me there. And then when we announced this course launch, they had said, "Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. This is what I've been looking for. I wanted to learn more." And I've taught places like Montclair State. I've taught at, various universities and done seminars and different things of that nature. And this just feels really great because we can really make it our own, and really be able to impart knowledge that is super unique to hyperlocal.
Where did this idea come from? And did you appearing on the Rachel Ray show have anything to do with it?
Great question. I think it was a combination. I mean, when I was in eighth grade, I started a townwide newspaper, like the crazy kid I was. I decided that we needed a town newspaper and there wasn't one. And so I was going to make it. And I've just always had that entrepreneurial bug in me. So that has been something that I have done for many years. My dad would take me around and get ads for $10, $15 for a page. It was always something really fun. I just loved journalism and that. And then I think, that mixed with, being on the Rachel Ray show was really, really great. It was such an honor. I got to talk to Barbara Corcoran about my idea for the local girl and really taking it to the next level. And she gave me a lot of great advice. It's something that I'm definitely still toying around with. We are launching, our network, where if you're interested in being a hyperlocal brand within the Local Girl Network, that's kind of the next phase of our courses. So we really are teaching people how to do it themselves. And if they're interested, they can also be a part of our platform.
So you launched this in Hoboken, where there is never a shortage of stories and happenings and celebrity sightings, things to do. Is that key to launching a hyperlocal site? Does it have to be a community as robust as Hoboken, or can it be just your regular run-of-the-mill town?
It can be anywhere you want it to be. I actually started the Catskills Girl because we go up there a lot. We have connections there. And, that has been really growing as well. And that was really just a fun Instagram challenge for me. And it is just something that I really think that if you have the content pillars in place, and we go through this in our course, the content pillars of what you want your town to be known for, or what you are really going to be covering within your hyperlocal space, you really can do anything. We have one student who is all she talks about is different types of beer and all of the different brands that are hyper local to the upstate New York area. She's in Buffalo, New York. And so really the world is your oyster, as cheesy as that sounds. It can be anything you want as long as you come up with the content pillars and list out exactly what you're going to be covering and really map out that strategy, which we help do.
How about staying consistent? Because I know what it's like to run a site, do a show week in, week out, day in, day out, and sometimes you just get tired. So what is your advice to those that are maybe lose their mojo along the way? How do they reclaim that?
There is no easy answer to that because it truly is all within you. I think we always need to take that time to recharge. But when you are doing something entrepreneurial, it is all on you. And you do have to really ensure that you are growing your brand and making it at the cadence that you want it to. I talk about it in my course with my students where they really have to pick how many times a week are you posting? How many times a week are you writing an article? Are you just posting on social on these certain days? All of that is fine as long as you create that pattern that your readers or your audience is used to. And I think there's nothing wrong with taking a break. I have a pretty strict Sunday rule of not much social media. As a brand, we do very traditional hours, on Monday through Friday, but Saturday and Sunday, we post twice in the mornings, and then we're, not posting at all, even if there's a lot happening in our area. So it really is a personal preference. We also, as a brand for The Local Girl, I give my team a week off in the summer and a week off in the winter. And that is just, we take a full week off. We actually take a decisive stance to pause. And so it's really just the precedent that you set with your audience. We always say we're on summer break or we're on winter break, and people understand and they're there when you get back because you've given them the answer of when you're coming back.
So speaking of breaks, how did something like COVID impact your business? Were you afraid of maybe losing some of that magic that you had spent so many years creating because there really was no news?
Well, I think there was so much news for us. We were busier than we've ever been. Yes, we had a really big loss with advertisers and we had to close our permanent office downtown in Hoboken. But as far as just our news, we really, bootstrapped. And for about 3 or 4 months, especially when COVID first hit, we were updating the community. And I felt like there was even more community at that time because everyone was home digitally trying to keep track of what was going on. We really turned into a news outlet that was sharing COVID numbers and all of that, as well as what businesses were open, what was closed, updates from the mayors. It was really a time where we all came together. And then we also have our charity arm of Hoboken Girl, which is called Hoboken Girl Helps, and we've raised thousands of dollars for local charities and different nonprofit organizations. And at that time, we were able to highlight so many amazing brands and businesses that needed help. And so we really were able to create a huge community. And I feel like it really even surged us forward more, as much as it was such a tough time.
So the lesson there is stay consistent. Don't be afraid of the unknown. And when you come out the other side, there's bigger rewards waiting for you. And that's what I learned too, actually, with the COVID stuff.
Absolutely. It really is. We saw so much. We pivoted. We started an online shop the summer of 2020 where people were buying Hoboken Girl, swag. And then we we started a jobs platform, which was part of the Local Girl brand. And it really helped us push ourselves forward and be super, super, I would say risky, but also just resourceful.
So where can we find out more about this course that I want to sign up for as soon as we're done?
Yes, it really is. We've gotten such great feedback from our first cohort. We had dozens of people in it, and they've really gotten so much out of it. It's been awesome. You can find it all at coaching.thelocalgirl.com, but we also have an Instagram that's for our parent brand, The Local Girl. It is at The Local Girl HQ, like headquarters, on all social platforms. And you can find me at the Jennifer Tripp, TRIP at the end. That can be for any platform as well. And that is where I share with The Local Girl a lot of our tips and tricks. And we have a lot of stuff that we share just on social media that's really helpful for anyone starting a brand or wanting to really level up their game. So lots to enjoy.
I love ending the show on that note. Jen, thank you so much and best of luck to you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for joining me on another episode of Your New Jersey. I'm Lisa Marie Falbo. We'll see you back here next week.